Hi, Glenna Cleek here with Encore Ministries of First United Methodist Church in Benton. There is a lot in the world to cause us to be anxious right now, more than we've ever known in our lives. The number of COVID-19 cases and deaths is alarming, and we're anxious about when it will finally decline. And now that children are being affected by the virus, it causes us even more anxiety. We worry about whether or not it's really safe for us to begin going about our daily business and getting active in the world again, even though a lot of things are opening up. We're anxious. Is it really safe? And we know that the economy is suffering and many people are out of work, which causes great anxiety in some families. There is so much causing anxiety, and it's really hard to not just worry about all these things. And what we need is peace about the whole situation. And how do we get that peace? We find that answer in Philippians 4:6-7. Listen to these words. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace that passes understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. God does not want us to worry and be anxious. He wants to take that burden from us. In fact, 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety on him, for he cares for you. I just read a quote from Martin Luther that said, pray and leave the worrying to God. My mom used to jokingly say, why pray when you can worry? Now, that was jokingly, for sure. There is nothing productive about worry. When we worry and are anxious, it's difficult to think about anything else or accomplish anything else. It keeps us from enjoying even the small pleasures of life. But it also robs us of our productivity, and it robs us of our joy. Anxiety even harms a person's health. Proverbs 12:25 says, an anxious heart weighs a man down. I remember that once I was weighed down by several concerns, and I had trouble concentrating on anything else. I was anxious and I was worried. So I decided to just take a walk. I sure wasn't accomplishing anything at home. We live on a circle, and as I walked around the circle, I prayed about each burden that was causing me anxiety. And I remember saying to God, God, would you just take this from me, and will you please just work it out your own way and give me peace about it? And I did this with each one of the concerns that I had, and I thanked him for whatever he was going to do to make it work out. It was as if I had started that walk with a heavy bag with rocks. And as I walked, I gave each one of those heavy rocks or burdens to God to carry for me. And when I got back home, my bag was as light as a feather. And I was too. I had peace. But here's the thing. Not one thing had changed about any of those situations that I had worried about and had been anxious about. But I had changed. I was at peace, and I walked back into my house with a light heart and my burdens lifted, and I was ready to take on the day. Psalm 94:19 says, "When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy." Well, even though there is so much to be anxious about in the world today, a walk around the block with God can return the joy and the peace to your life.